What is up, guys? The doctor is back in the office, and today we got the first tier list of the channel. We're doing UFC fighters who are on Santa's naughty or nice list for 2025. We got 5 tiers here. Let me explain each one. We got Santa's favorites. Those are the guys who had incredible years, whether they were really active or they just put on a ton of fun fights, or even guys who just had a really important win that kind of changed the course of the UFC. They're going to get put in the nice list as dudes who just had a nice year. They're good people. They fucking, did their shit in the UFC, just had an overall nice year. Coal Watch is for dudes who either they were really up and down all year, they were mid, or I just don't really like them and I didn't want to throw them in naughty or nice. So that's the Coal Watch tier list. Then we have the naughty list, which is dudes who are either scumbags or they had bad years or they weren't really active. And then we have you will not receive gifts for the rest of your life. That's made for one person, and you'll see who that is as the video goes on. But again, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Merry Christmas to everybody. We have the Watch It Santa Paulie Walnuts Christmas sweater on. We're fucking full in the festivities here. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into this. Starting off with one of Santa's favorites, kind of an elf looking creature in himself, Merab. He's going into Santa's favorites. 4 fights this year, 3 title defenses. Started it off with a banger against Umar, which is a fight of the year candidate where he's down 2-0. Then he fucking works his way back, as I just felt like I destroyed my chair there. Works his way back and fucking dominates him for the rest of the fight. Finishes Sean O'Malley over the summer, which is a really nice win, and put on a really nice performance against Corey Nerdhagen back in October, and that was his 3rd title defense, and he didn't need a 4th one. A lot of people, including myself, thought maybe he was pushing himself a little too much, and that's what happened. I know the year didn't end well for him with that loss to Petr Yan, where he got pretty much absolutely dominated, but he was so active all year. Put on, I would say, 2, the Umar fight was a really, really good fight. The Sean O'Malley fight was still cool because he had a fucking finish in it. And the Corey Nerdhagen fight was also a pretty good one. So he put on 3 really good fights. The Petr Yan fight, whatever, sucked. The puzzle was cracked there. But, saved the UFC. At a time where there's not a lot of active champions, he was very active, put on really solid fights. Fighter of the year for a reason. He's going into Santa's favorites tier. And again, for all these fighters, I'm also probably going to say, what do I want Santa to get for them? I would like Santa to bring Merab a lot of women that he can put in his jacuzzi. Maybe men, because Merab might be gay. We don't really know. But he was gay, Merab. Moving on, staying in the bantamweight division, we're going to put Petr Yan in the Santa's favorites tier. Only fought twice this year, but brings some real excitement in terms of striking back to the bantamweight department. Or bantamweight division department. What the fuck am I even saying? Dialed on Marcus McGee over the summer, which was a really nice one. I think that win's going to continue to age really well. Marcus McGee, I rate pretty highly. And solve the puzzle of Merab, which it seemed like nobody in the UFC could. Dominate him, shut him down, shut down all his takedowns, rip kicks, and punches to the body that pretty much slowed Merab entirely down. Absolute masterclass. One of the greatest performances we've ever seen in the UFC. I'm really excited for the trilogy fight now, because if Merab had beaten Petr Yan, you're like, fuck, what's next? Umar. I would have been excited for Umar fight. They probably would have tried a Sean O'Malley 3 in there somewhere. Like, there wasn't that many fights that were super exciting left. But now with Petr Yan winning, we get a really fun trilogy where both these 2 dudes in their respective wins against each other shut each other down. So it's going to be like, what's going to happen in the 3rd fight? Really excited. I hope Santa gives Petr Yan some more property in Russia. Specifically, Vladimir Putin gives Petr Yan more property in Russia. Moving on, we're going to do Ilia next. Originally, I was like Cyril Gane. Ilia, you're going on the naughty list, buddy. Listen, here's what I'll say about Ilia. You may have beaten your wife, and that might not even be the worst thing that you did this year. You know what I mean? And knocking out Charles Oliveira was actually worse than anything you did to your wife. I'll leave it at that. Listen, not incredibly active. I know he's going through all this divorce custody battle, so that could also have played that also plays a massive role in why he's not active. But he's just straight up on the naughty list just because of the Charles fight. I don't even care what the fuck he did to his wife. That's none of my business. Again, UFC only here. But fought once this year amid divorce and custody battles with his ex-wife. I don't particularly like you. You're going on the naughty list for not being active whatsoever. Moving on, we'll go to Octagon next. Octagon, you're going in the you will never receive gifts for the rest of your life tier. And let me explain myself. Undeserving title shots is the name of Octagon's game. This guy is a scumbag. His whole career has been built off of eye pokes, repeated back of the head shots of dudes when they're on the ground, which I guess everybody does to a degree, so maybe I shouldn't really be calling Octagon out for at least that, the back of the head shots, but whatever, the repeated eye poking, he ruined an entire main event because of it. Nobody hates on this guy enough. He's a loser. And credit to him, listen, was he punching Tom Aspinall a little bit? Sure. Like, I don't even think he's that bad, but you're not receiving any gifts. Guy doesn't even think he's in the wrong despite pretty much doing everything wrong. Guy is a bum, ruined the main event. You're going to be in the you will not receive gifts for the rest of your life tier. Moving on to the boy, the GOAT himself, Charles Oliveira. You're going in Santa's favorite tier. Originally, I was like, maybe nice list for Charles. You know, the Ilia loss, not that that's really his, not that I would really keep him away from Santa's favorites, but just whatever. That loss was fucking AI. He bounced back a few months later when everybody thought he was going to lose. Beats Gamrot when he's supposed to fight Rafael Fiziev and dominates Gamrot, who's a very strong offensive grappler. Destroys him. You're my GOAT. You're Santa's favorite. Charles, I hope you get unlimited horses for Christmas and win every single one of your horse races. Moving on, Kevin Holland. There's only one spot on this list that Kevin Holland could possibly be in, and that has to be Cole Watch. I can't really put him in the naughty list because every single one of his fights, regardless if he completely shits the bed or styles on him, is exciting. If he loses, it's hilarious, and if he wins, you're like, oh, maybe is Kevin Holland good? And he was too active for me to put him in the naughty list, because if you're that active and I see you on cards all the time, like, all right, at least I know Kevin Holland's on here. Something will happen. And this tier, I think, is exclusively for him. He was 2-3 in 2025. Starts the year off by getting subbed by RDR, who we'll mention later. Beats Gunnar Nelson. Then subs Vicente Luque. And then you're like, oh, shit, maybe a welterweight. This is the spot where Kevin Holland, he takes his career seriously. Maybe he can work himself in the top 10. And then he just goes out there and fucking shits the bed against D-Rod in one of the worst performances you'll ever see. And then loses to Mike Malott a couple months ago at UFC Vancouver. And, you know, was getting hit in the balls a ton in that fight. He was just being a bitch in that fight. And, you know, he kind of sucks. I still like Kevin Holland, though. I know that's maybe a bit of an unpopular opinion on MMA YouTube, because a lot of people just will put this dude in his parlay and he just absolutely sucks. But I still have a soft spot for him. He's so active, and I do think he is skilled. He just can't ever put it together. I don't really know what to make of you, but you're going in the Cole Watch. You know, Santa, he could look at you and be like, Kevin Holland is a cool dude. He's a nice guy, but man, this guy can throw up some real stinkers in the fucking octagon. Whatever. Moving on to Khamzat Chimaev, the middleweight champion. I'm putting you in the naughty list. First of all, I've just another inactive champion. Dude never fights. He spends more time on Twitter calling out dudes like Glover Teixeira and fucking Alex Pereira, talking about moving up despite never defending the belt once. And then he's out here talking about how he won't fight Nasruddin Imavov because of a Dagestan and, you know, Chechnya rivalry, because there's a complicated history between these two. I don't particularly like that. Beat our boy DDP, who was one of my favorite middleweights ever, favorite fighters ever. Has ruined the middleweight division. And I don't understand why this guy's talking about moving up despite never defending the belt once. You're going in the naughty list. Moving on, let's do Shadrikius Dumas next. Fucking Shadrikius. We're gonna put you in the naughty list. He has more felonies and time spent in jail than wins in the UFC and time spent in the Octagon. I just think this is where we have to put you. You're really, you know, you're not really that good. Lost to Dante Johnson in his last fight. Who else did fight? Then he had that weird Zach Reese fight where, like, he got hit in the balls a couple times and, like, you know, bowed out of that. And then everybody was like, I don't even think he really got hit in the balls that much. Then he also lost to Mikhail Olashechek, who's good. I mean, that's not a bad loss. And that Dante Johnson fight was just embarrassing. They get subbed that badly by a dude, I think it was in his debut or his second fight. He's on the naughty list. I hope he gets commissary money for Christmas that he could spend on, like, gum or fucking cigarettes. I don't know. Moving on to Benoit Saint Denis, Scam Denise, a guy who's had a very complicated relationship on this channel. The first video that he was ever mentioned in, let me drink a sip of water here. I said I hated this guy. I picked him to lose to Mauricio Huffy. But man, he's been on a fucking nice run in 2025. Subbed Kyle Prepelec, subbed Mauricio Huffy really badly in France, like dominated him in front of an electric crowd, and then destroyed my boy Benny Dariush's chin in 15 seconds. I think I just have to put him on the nice list for activity alone, and 3 finishes in a year is very impressive, and now is like really cementing himself as a fucking top contender in the division. I hope he gets a nice baguette for Christmas. I think that's what French people like. Moving on to Volk, the people's champion, the GOAT himself. We're going to put him in Santa's favorites. You know, not incredibly active this year by any means, but not really even his fault. He took a lot of damage in the Diego Lopez fight, but the UFC just didn't want to fucking schedule this guy. But he gets his belt back when everybody thought he was, you know, done for. You know, again, the Ilia fight, that was also AI. You know, he gets cooked badly by Ilia Topuria. You're like, fuck, this might be over for Volk. But has a great war with Diego Lopez where he outclasses him. You're an inspiration to all. You're one of Santa's favorites. You brought balance back to the force, back to the UFC. I hope he gets some nice Cutco knives for Christmas. My cousin tried to sell me on Cutco knives once. Actually, not they're not really even that bad of knives. They kind of get a bad rep, because everybody associates them with pyramid schemes, but man, they fucking cut well. They can cut through a steak very well. Moving on to Alex Pereira. We're going to throw you in the nice list. Now, some people might say, how is he not a Santa's favorite? 2024 Alex Pereira would be a Santa's favorite. 2025 Alex Pereira, I don't think I could put him in the Santa's favorites tier. Didn't really start the year off great. I mean, building up into that Ankalaev fight, he was like filming fucking movies, didn't even seem that serious, was injured. The fact that he let Ankalaev get the belt just kind of forces you to be a nice list and not Santa's favorite. Now, he got the belt back when a lot of people thought his career was over and he was finished. I mean, he proved the first fight was a fluke and then he actually was injured. So he's still my boy. I can't wait till we get a shot at the 3rd belt, but we're going to put you in the nice list for this video. Hope he gets a ton of hot women for Christmas because he is single, I believe. I mean, he's a good looking dude. He's fucking amazing. He's got a perfect hairline, chiseled body, the baddest man on the planet. I hope he gets a ton of women for Christmas. Moving on to RDR. Now, RDR was a bit of an interesting one when I was thinking, where do I put him? Because you could put him in Cole Watch because the year kind of ended badly for him and Brendan Allen kind of exposed him and his gas tank kind of ran out and kind of the activity seemed to break RDR down. But I think I have to put him in the nice list simply because he was so active for the majority of the year. What was he? What was his record this year? 4-1. He subbed Kevin Holland, right? Finished Bot Nickel, beat Robert Whittaker, 3-1, and then he dies on the stool against Brendan Allen. And listen, I think it's a bad look for RDR. He was up in that fight too before Brendan Allen kind of just started to put the beating on him. Like, I think he's like RDR was up 2-0 in that fight, and then what did he lose in the 3rd or the 4th round? Like, Brendan Allen, credit to him, put a nice beating on him. But he still has to be put on the nice list because he is very exciting. Now, it'll be interesting to see when he fights Kaio in March, what he looks like. But I still have faith in this guy. You know, do I think he can be a champion? Maybe not. I mean, he's old, but I think he can still be a name in this division for at least a couple more years and maybe can work his way into that top 5 and maybe get a shot at the belt. I think I have to leave him in the nice list. Super exciting fighter, a lot of finishes, a lot of great scraps. I think I just have to leave him in the nice list. And moving on to our boy Quillen fucking Salkill, mate. The boy himself, 3-0 in 2025. I'm going to put him in Santa's favorites. My favorite prospect. I was on this guy before. A lot of people were. 2 sick finishes. Beat India's GOAT, Anshul Jubilee. Then in October has a sick knockout over Nasrat Hakparast, whose father owned a bakery, by the way, with an insane head kick knockout. Insanely active, insanely talented. We love this dude. He's supposed to fight Rong Ju in January, but I think that fight got canceled because Rong Ju got an injury. But whatever, he's got to be in Santa's favorite. He's easily Santa's favorite prospect. He's everybody's favorite prospect. I hope he gets a new surfboard for Christmas. I know Australians like the fucking surf, or maybe a kangaroo. One of those. Moving on to Walter Walker, chocolate pepper pig. Walter Walker. Where do I put Walter Walker? Because this is an interesting one. Because he's definitely a nice list. Walter Walker. Fuck it. I'm gonna put him in Santa's favorites. There's not that many exciting heavyweights like Waldo's another one. You'll see me we'll rate him soon. But Walter Walker's 3-0 in the UFC. All 4 of his wins in the UFC are by heel hook. He's had 3 heel hook wins this year. He's very fun on the mic and very fun with the fans. Just a fun fighter to watch. Like, I kind of want to see more of his stand-up game, but why do you need stand-up game when you could just heel hook shitty heavyweights? And he's even openly said, like, the top heavyweights would all knock him out. But who cares? Keep feeding this dude fucking cans. He'll heel hook them all, and it's hilarious to watch dudes not know how to defend anything on the ground. And Walter Walker just abuses heavyweights all the time. And honestly, it's a shame that Chris Barnett got cut, because it would have been so funny to watch Chris Barnett get subbed by this dude, just a fat blob himself. Moving on to literally one of my favorite fighters, Waldo Cortez Acosta. I kind of spoiled it before. He's going in the Santa's favorites. Now listen, my thing with Waldo, I didn't always like this guy. You know, like, Ryan Spann was like a nice finish, but Ryan Spann sucks. Then he beat Sergey Spivak, who a lot of people thought was like a robbery. Then he loses Sergey Pavlovich, and you're like, all right, we can pump the brakes on Waldo ever really competing at a high level in the UFC. Then he gets a nasty win over Ante Delija, where he gets eye poked in the face. The ref, that looks like the fight's called off. Then it's not. Mark Smith's like, nope, fight resumes, bombs Ante Delija, and wins that one. That was super exciting to see. And then he also had a nasty win over Shamil Gaziev to end the year, when a lot of people are like, oh, Shamil, he's a really dangerous prospect. Fucking nukes Shamil Gaziev. Dumbass, when I punching you in the face. I want Waldo Cortez Acosta to beat Derek Lewis, and then we're like, shit, this guy's gonna get a title shot. Waldo's my boy. Who doesn't love fat Dominicans? If we're being honest, fat Dominicans are hilarious. Waldo Cortez Acosta is the fucking boy. Insanely active, brought a lot of fun back to heavyweight. Him and Walter Walker are the best of the heavyweight. They'd fucking beat Cyril Gane's ass. Fuck you, Cyril Gane. Moving on to the welterweight champion, Islam Makhachev. We're gonna put you in the nice list. Listen, I'm not like gonna act like I'm the biggest Islam fan, but he had a good year. You know, you can't dispute that. You know, supposed to fight Arman to start the year. Arman, you know, has a fucking can't make weight. So then he fights Renato Moicano, destroys him in 1 round. Did his thing versus Renato Moicano. You know, takes these months off because he's trying to move up to welterweight. Dominates JDM, sadly. You know, JDM's the boy, but he still dominated him, even if it wasn't the most fun fight. Listen, he's one of the GOATs of the sport, maybe top 3 all time. You gotta throw him the nice list. Appreciate greatness. That's what Santa's doing. Hope you get some nice, like, new lambs or cows or whatever you have in your farm in Dagestan from Santa. Moving on to Alessandre Pantoja. We're going to put you in the Santa's favorite tier, honorary, because I know it wasn't like he was super active this year, but he fought a ton in 2024. But he destroyed Kai Kara France. He's destroyed everybody in his fucking path. The Joshua Van injury against Joshua Van was unfortunate. But you're still my boy. You're still my champion. Extremely active again before this fight against Joshua Van. We'll see what happens next. I'm just throwing you in Santa's favorites as an honorary mention. Joshua Van, I'm going to put you in the nice list. This one I was kind of, before the Pantoja fight, I would have thrown you in Santa's favorites. But, you know, like, he was extremely, maybe I'm actually might put him in Santa's favorites. But he beat Ray Saruya to start the year. Then, nukes Bruno Silva, absolute war with Brandon Royval. Then the Pantoja fight happens. Now listen, he celebrated. I don't think it was the best look, even though I would have fucking celebrated too, like Batista, pyro going everywhere. Like, I would have totally celebrated. But I didn't really have a problem with it. But like, some people didn't see it as a great look, and I kind of know what they mean. I'll just put him in the nice list because the Santa's favorites list is getting kind of crowded. So we'll put you in the nice list this year. I just wish him and Pantoja had a real fucking fight. Moving on to Ian Machado, Cuck Gary. I'm putting you in Cole Watch. I can't really put you in the naughty list because you were really good this year. I mean, you had a really nice win over fucking, what's it called? Over Carlos Prates, and, you know, beat our boy Bilal, which kind of sucked. But listen, I don't never really like this guy. He parades his son around too much. I know that might kind of sound like a stupid reason not to like him, but it just seems weird. I just feel like he's also, like, disingenuous. I never thought he was a really genuine person. something's always seemed off with this guy. That's kind of my thing with Ian Gary. Like, he is very good. I actually think he is really one of the most talented dudes in the UFC in terms of his striking. Like, maybe he's not this sick knockout guy, but he does a really good job on the feet. Just does a great job cutting angles, is so fast. And listen, he had a nice win over Prates where he dominates for 4 rounds. If Carlos Prates was smart, he would have finished Ian Gary in the 5th. Outclassed Bilal on the feet. He also had that weird interaction with Khamzat Chimaev, where originally I was on his side, and then I saw him really slap Khamzat Chimaev's back pretty hard. And I was like, maybe Ian Gary, I don't particularly like you that much. I mean, I didn't before that. But Santa is always watching, and he knows the real you. So whoever Ian Gary really is, Santa Claus knows. So I'm going to put him in the Cole Watch tier list, where if he's as bad of a person as part of me thinks, then he's not going to get any presents. And if he's actually this good person deep down, I guess he's getting gifts. Whatever. Moving on to Yuri Proska, easy Santa's favorite. He literally looks like fucking Santa. If you knock out Jamal Hill, then you're automatically one of Santa's favorites in 2025. And he also had a great war with Khalil Roundtree. The dude's the greatest person ever. How could you not like Yuri Proska? Most exciting fighter in the UFC. And I just hope Santa gives him a healthy baby, because I know his his girl is pregnant. So that's all I want for Yuri Proska. Oh wait, actually, you can't even see Yuri Proska. I put so many people in the fucking in the Santa's favorite tier list. You can't even see Yuri Proska. I'll move down here. I'll move down here temporarily. Moving on, our last 2 names on the tier list. Carlos Prates and Diego Lopez. I'm gonna put Carlos Prates in the nice list. Listen, you lose to Ian Gary, and I hate Ian Gary. Listen, Carlos Prates is a fan favorite, but the fact that you lost to him, it's not that it's embarrassing. It's just like, I can't believe Ian Gary's gonna get a title shot. 2-1. Ian Gary's not a bad loss whatsoever. He got outclassed. Nearly finished him in the 5th round if he was smart and actually, committed to the ground and pound there. But highlight reel buzzer beater, spinning elbow KO over Jeff Neal. Then nukes Leon Edwards with a straight left. So he did his shit. Carlos Prates, I hope you get Marlboro Reds or American Spirits, whatever you smoke, and a bottle of Fireball. We love CP. You're going in the nice list for this tier list. And finally, Diego Lopez. I'm going to put Diego Lopez in the nice list. Mainly because the Santa's favorites is kind of filled up too much. But listen, loses to Volk, no shame in that. Volk's one of the greatest ever. Then beats Zionist John Silva. We're all happy about that. That was sick to watch John Silva get fucking nuked by Diego Lopez when he talks all that shit. Him and the Fighting Nerds talk so much shit to my boy Diego Lopez. I'm kind of just leaving him a nice list because, and it has really nothing to do with him. It's just the fact that this guy's getting another title shot. Maybe there's something shady. Maybe Diego Lopez has some fucking dirt on Dana White. I don't really know. I'm just leaving him a nice list, even though he probably is one of my 5 favorite fighters in the UFC. I'm just going to leave him a nice list. Probably doesn't deserve a title shot. I don't really want to see the Volk rematch, but whatever. He still had a great year. Probably one of the 5 most exciting fighters in the UFC. You're going in the nice list for this video. That's the tier list. Here's the Santa's favorites. Here's the nice list. The Cole Watch is only inhabited by Kevin Holland and Ian Gary. And then the naughty list is Ilia, Khamzat, Dumas. What a lineup there. And then you will not receive gifts. That tier list was literally made for Cyril Gane. He's a fucking loser. I hate him. I can't wait till Tom Aspinall comes back and beats him. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Merry Christmas to all. To all a good night. Fucking make sure you make some nice gingerbread houses for Santa. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all the love on the channel. Thank you. The doctor is signing off.